Precious Lola. We're here talking about the marriage contract. Here with Jermaine. I'm not giving his last name on purpose. And Mello, my co-host. And why do we pick Jermaine? We picked him because he's a very controversial type person most of the time, but he is absolutely behaving himself.
I am.
Today.
I'm trying.
We'll bring him back on for another topic one day that he won't get in trouble for just saying anything he wants to say for, and we'll get a chance to see it all together. So we were talking about one of the last things Melanie said was about commitment, and I think that's why throughout the years we have these relationships. These parents, my parents were together 41 years. Hayward, what, 50 years? Over 50 years for his parents. And so I think that happened a couple of different reasons. My opinion, y'all chime in. First of all, the choices weren't as plentiful as there are now.
No, they weren't.
And you didn't have as many options. Like I talked last week about we have one channel, then 5 channels, then 25 channels, then 200 channels, then 5,000 channels. Kind of opens up people's options for what they can do and what they can't do. And they kind of made us think bigger, right? Having exposure to the world. But when you only got 5 channels and you can't really travel that many places because your money don't let you do that.
Right. Or you don't even have the desire because you
don't
don't
even
see
know.
what's going on.
You don't know that there's a Fiji Islands.
Right.
You don't know none of that stuff. You don't know that there's a state somewhere where the women got multiple men. You don't know that, so you don't want to go there. I heard that's true.
I was going to say, stay with
I heard that's true. There's a community like that in the United States. But when you don't know, like I should know that. So when, so when you find out new things, you want to do new things.
Exactly.
And broaden your horizon. And I just know that, like my grandfather, she loved my grandfather, but he got on her damn nerves.
Really? Oh.
But they all do.
Right.
But they got on each other's nerves. She got on his nerves.
Right.
But you didn't leave.
No, you didn't.
It was like a code, you know?
Yeah.
It was a real covenant. Like you didn't go nowhere.
Exactly.
You stayed snoring, stinky feet.
Yeah.
The whole 9.
Loud, the whole 9 yards. No sex.
Yeah.
You just dealt with it.
Yep.
You didn't go nowhere.
It was socially unacceptable.
To leave.
Exactly. It really was.
It was like you had too much pressure now.
You'd have been blackballed.
You would have been blackballed and people looking at you crazy, especially if you were a woman.
Oh yeah. That's true.
So you had a lot of things keeping you together, keeping that whole situation together. But now, because everything's an option, everything's an option. It's like you go into the marriage thinking that, okay, if it don't work, I'll just leave.
I know somebody who got married like that.
And, I don't think that you should do that.
I mean, you shouldn't, but the thing about it is, no one's taught.
Right.
Women don't teach their daughters about marriage and what lessons they learned in actual, the good things about marriage. Usually people hold on to the bad things about marriage, and that's what they kind of relay.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what they talk about the most, the negative things that happen out of marriage.
And then that's what you see.
And that's what you see.
Yeah.
And then that's what the kid carries on in the back of their head. I know for me it was. You know, when I saw my parents.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to go through that. I don't want that.
Right.
You know? So it was more like, kind of stay away from marriage. And then when you meet somebody that you really think you can take that leap with, that jump, and be like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and try it out. That's your mindset. I'm going to try it out. Because I have no idea.
Like a damn test drive.
Yeah. It's like,
I'm about to test drive
and
this.
if it's a lemon, I'm going to take it back. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But you know what you said about women not teaching their daughters, well, the divorce rate has been high for a long time. So it's been a couple of generations before we've had the women to teach their daughters because they weren't in it. You can't teach somebody something that you don't know.
Exactly.
You know, so you got women out here walking around and men, right, with misnomers about what that means, like who you're supposed to be in that, what you're supposed to do when things happen. Because remember, we're I'm not gonna tell that, but my crew talks about the stuff that people don't know.
Right.
And that's one of the things that people don't tell you.
Right.
Is that that's the thing you need to know when you're in a marriage is because you don't need nobody to tell you what to do when shit's going right.
Right.
You need somebody to tell you what to do when it ain't going right.
Right. Exactly.
And nobody tells you what to do when it's not going right. Even when they know, I don't know what that's about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody tells you about the things that could happen, would happen. When it goes bad, this is what you do. Now, some people do pass that information down. But like I said, if you haven't had a man in the house and your mama didn't have a man in the house for you, how are you telling somebody how to be a wife?
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true.
Forget about wife, just be in a relationship.
Just being in a
But
relationship. Exactly.
that's why it takes a village, right?
But if all the people in your village,
Let's go back to that.
That's what I'm saying. But you know,
but if the people in your village don't know, your auntie,
you got aunties, you got most of the grandparents were married.
Yes, my grandparents were married
Most
until
of them, and they stayed together till they passed.
till death did them part.
Right.
Exactly.
And we're not utilizing that wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
I mean, people, just like you're saying, you're talking from a situation of the mother passing down to the daughter. It's not just the mother. It's the grandparents. They got more knowledge than everybody.
but nobody was listening to them. Like I think about
That's the problem.
nobody. Like I think like my
Nobody's
mom,
listening.
my
Right.
mother will sometimes
Yeah.
say,
I would sit down and just look and just study my grandparents and look what they and just watch them. And you know what I learned? The most thing is when it comes to relationships and being in a long term, having to deal with somebody every day for the rest of your life. It's figuring. And seriously,
having to deal with somebody.
You have to deal with them.
I wanted this for this reason.
It's
Because
true.
no, real
That's
talk.
It's
that's
true.
the real.
No,
It's
it's not a
true.
trap. I wanted it for this reason because this is a part one. This marriage contract is a part one. The next conversation that I want to have on here is just about how men see things and how women see things. You know, we talk about that all the time.
Right, right.
And so, having to deal with, that's not typically in a marriage. That ain't how she think you looking at it.
Right.
No,
You
not
know
at
what
all.
I'm saying? She thinks that oh, I'm so glad, because you put on the tuxedo.
Right,
And you
right,
got all your boys
right.
to stand in line with you.
Yeah.
And you was excited. You participated. You went to some cake tasting
But-
events.
No,
Not you.
not the cake.
And you did some stuff that looked like, and you bought the ring, right?
Right.
So
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
proposed. So she thinking he's excited
right.
about this, just
Right.
like me. But did you hear what this black man just said?
That's what.
Have to deal with,
Yeah.
and he's not by himself.
Right.
Not
He's
at all.
not, and so I don't want y'all sending no hate mail,
Not at all.
Not-
email at him because what he does on a regular basis, he and Haywood, they have a tendency to talk, and our producer Kwame, about what men really think.
Right.
And I take to me as such a benefit to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To learn that and to hear that. So as we continue this conversation, I want y'all to listen to the verbiage that he uses. Because you got to start to understand, and it's not because you're not loved and not because you're
Not at all.
cared for. It's
Not at
because
all.
they are not women with penises.
No, we're not.
Okay?
Thank
We
God.
They
the
are
exact
men.
opposite of you.
Well,
And they do not
that
think
happens.
like we
It's
think.
okay.
And so as we continue through this marriage contract conversation, I need y'all to hold on to that.
Right.
Because that's the key to understanding when we start doing these relationship town halls and these forums. That's the key to starting to understand each other is that we're not the same.
Right.
We are not thinking about this stuff from the same base. Right? And so folks are getting insulted because they're taking stuff personal, and it's not like that. So when we come into our next segment, we're going to continue to talk about how we're different. Right? And how things are even stranger, weirder nowadays.
Right.
Right?
Which is different.
It's weirder.
Just different.
Yeah.
Weirder.
Different.
And how
It's,
and how
it's weird and different.
weird and different and how it makes it even more of a challenge because people have modernized ways of thinking about relationships. And so, again, but understanding each other is the key. So when we come back, it'll be more on the marriage contract. Remember to subscribe to That's Just Lola on YouTube. And
Share it.
Share it, comment. Go to our That's Just Lola Facebook page and like it, share it, comment. And when you get this video, watch it and share it.
Comment.
All right, we'll be right back with more of That's Just Lola and the marriage contract.